Yeah, g'day everyone. I'm here doing a little bit of maintenance and servicing work on my R31 Skyline. Today I'm here to change out the tail shaft seal. When I had the car jacked up, I noticed that there was a bit of oil just around here, and as you can see, this car has rust proofing underneath it. This was done at the Nissan factory before it was given to the owner of the car. It was a factory option. So they had that done at Nissan. So what's happened is the oil has removed all the protection. So I'm going to have to put that all back. But I decided to take the rear member off that holds the gearbox and the mount. Now the mount was replaced, I don't know, some time ago, so here's the mount for it. Goes that way, sorry, no, wrong way. Goes that way. Now normally it would have a exhaust mount coming off here, which goes over there, but this has got extractors and a large exhaust system on it, 2.5-inch exhaust I think it is. So there's the oxygen sensor. That's not the normal place for it, but that's where I put it. So it's been put further down in the exhaust stream to help pick up the exhaust, because it doesn't seem to pick it up right at the top of the engine because of the extractors. Catalytic converter. I believe there's probably not much left in that actually. It was rattling for a long time. I think it still rattles a little bit. I'll just give it a bit of a hit. No, it's all good. So here's the rest of it. So the car's got a one-piece tail shaft that I made. It normally comes with a two-piece. So here is the mount for. Here's the mount for the two-piece. The center bearing. That's where the center bearing normally goes. So that's not been put in. I put a one-piece tail shaft in it because I was sick of the shuttering and noises that they tend to do with these things when they get a little bit old. The tail shaft seems to shudder a little bit on acceleration. It's normally because the bushing that holds the center bearing it's flogged out and starts cracking and falling apart, so they tend to shudder a little bit under acceleration. So I got rid of it. Yes, the car is on an angle. I've got it jacked up on the right hand side. So we're approximately 2.5 feet up in the air. So let's get you straight so you can see. So that's how much the car's jacked up. So if I turn the camera that way, that brings us in line. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to get rid of all this muck on the back of the gearbox. Now the rest of the car is absolutely spotless, but just I'd never got around to changing that or cleaning that up. So I'm going to clean that up. Also going to recoat all this stuff as well. So I've got to get this all cleaned up. It's a little wet from the oil that was leaking out of it. Anyway, they didn't seem to go down. The oil level in the gearbox didn't seem to go down. So this is an electronic 4-speed gearbox. They used them in the late model Skylines, the Series 3 Skylines, and also the 300ZX of the same era use the same gearbox. So it's a 4-speed electronic controlled gearbox with torque converter lockup. These are good for around about 300 kilowatts, I think. So anyway, this one's original. It has had a shift kit put in the valve body. I think that's about the only thing that has been done, and it's had a full service. The bands were checked and tightened. I got them to check to see how it was wearing. It was wearing quite fine because the car's not done very many Ks. So it's wearing okay. So that's all good. So today out with the tail shaft, and I've got to hook that seal out and find out what's, well actually I'll find out why it's leaking first. So I did replace it not long ago, and for some reason it's leaking again. So I'm not sure what that is. These cars are a little bit hard to get parts for. So this is an R31 Skyline with the RE401E gearbox in it. So it's a Jatco gearbox, not a Nissan gearbox, it's a Jatco. They're a different gearbox than the earlier ones. These are a lot stronger than the Series 1 and 2 Skyline, and the automatic gearbox they use in the VL Commodore, totally different. Everything about this car is different. A lot of people sort of say, oh, that's the motor that's in the VL Commodore. No, it's not. The VL Commodore had a different engine altogether. Had a different computer, different head, even though the heads were all bolt on, but different head, different cam timing. So this car is the very last of the ones that were brought out, because they ended their run. I think it was about September 1990. They stopped making Skylines altogether. So they only went from 86 to 90, and I think it was about September that they stopped, because my uncle's car's got June 1990. This has got January 1990. This is a TI sedan. So anyway, this engine's been tested. It's around about 138 kilowatts of power that it puts out. Runs very, very well. Very low on kilometres for its age, extremely low. And I'm trying to keep it that way. So a lot of this car has been done. You can see there's the steering rack. This is a variable ratio steering rack. The car didn't come out with it. Originally, I put it in out of another vehicle. So I put this steering rack in it, and you can see that it's got a nylethane bush in there. All the suspension's been done, all of it. The whole lot's been had new bushings put in, the whole lot. That's why there's a bit of colour around the place. So I think these were done, you know, all the bushings. The gearbox was done about 4 years ago. All the bushings were done around about the same time, especially for the back end. So that's the diff there. The diff has had new bearings put in it. I was just a bit concerned. It was howling a little bit, which tends to be a bit of a problem with the 3.89 diffs. They tend to howl a little bit. Anyway, it's got a little tiny bit of a whine. It sort of whines around about, I don't know, it's about 90 kilometres an hour. It tends to whine a little bit around there, not for very long. All speeds up to there, it's quiet, very, very quiet, and over 90 it's very quiet as well. You don't hear it whatsoever. So that's a Borg Warner 78 series, 4-pinion, 28 spline diff, nice heavy axles in it, nice strong diff, I was told. So that's the diff that's in it at the moment, and you can see that, you know, I've been trying to paint some of this stuff up. There's a bit of muck on the sway bar there. I'm going to try and clean that off as well, and try and clean all that up as well. Yeah, all the bushings have been done, as you can see. Things have been out. One of the little jobs I've got to do is adjust the see if you can get it there. That's the handbrake cable, a handbrake adjustment. I've got to adjust that. There's a couple of adjustment points in there. That's the main one. Underneath the body, there's quite a hole there. Normally the hole's for the muffler. I suppose underneath that, well, sorry, on top of that is the the seat for the back seat sits there. So just here, this part here is a footwell behind the front seat, just to give you a bit of an idea. So we go back around. Sorry, there's a jack stand. There's the trailing arms. So this is a 5-link rear suspension on it. So you've got those big arms there. You've got those torque twist arms up there, and there's a panhard rod down behind the gearbox. Sorry, the diff. Apologise for that mistake. I wasn't thinking properly. So anyway, so as you can see, the exhaust pipe is almost the same size as the tail shaft. Even though that's a big tail shaft, it's a lot bigger than what was originally in it. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to check the universal joints. I think they should be okay. I've got to get all those bolts out to get the tail shaft to come out. So I'm going to do that. Sorry, this wire, there's a wire hanging down here. Now this car came from the eastern states originally. It was brought in the eastern states and driven over here to Western Australia. And I believe that cable, which is hanging down, this big cable here, might have been put in the car temporarily for maybe a fridge or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm taking it out because I don't use it. I'm trying to keep the car in original, so everything is factory. So that's coming out. It's the only thing that's not going to be factory is this rather large exhaust system. I'm not going to change that. It's really too expensive and you can't get the original now. So I'm just going to stay with the original with this aftermarket system that I put on. It's got a straight through turbo muffler at the back. I can't remember who made it. It's quite old now. It does need replacing. The car's a little loud. A little loud for my liking, but anyway, it does drone a bit. I have every intention of changing this pipe here to put a hot dog in it, but it runs very close to the tail shaft, as you can see. So the car's at maximum height, so it doesn't hit the exhaust, so the tail shaft would normally go up that way a lot further. So I'm going to do that eventually. There's no leaks other than the leaking seal there. So I'm going to wash all this down, get it all nice and clean. Change that seal. So I've got to go and get some petroleum jelly. You never ever put a seal in dry. I've also brought some stuff called Honda Bond to get that seal to stay in there. Now the seal, when I originally put it in, the seal popped out and pumped out about a litre and a half of transmission oil. Ended up all over the exhaust system, and the car was billowing smoke out the back of it. The cops pulled me over and came running over with a fire extinguisher. We found out it was just hot oil on the exhaust. So I gently drove the car back home, and I nursed it sort of home. Got it back before it stopped any motion at all. And then found out it was that seal had popped out. So what I did is took the tail shaft back out again and repositioned the seal in a bit better, but I think the seal's damaged, hence the reason why it's leaking. So I'm going to change it over again. I've brought 2 of them, one as a spare. I don't think there's any leaks out of this gearbox at all. It's got a new pan gasket on it. When I had the shift kit done, there was a new pan gasket on it. It was all checked for leaks. So I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this up. So that's where we are at the moment. I'll sort of crawl out from under here, under the car. So bear with me for a sec. Yeah, the little scissor jack is just holding the gearbox up. The stop strain on the on anything in the engine bay. So we'll just get up. Sorry, it's a bit of a hassle for me. Right, sorry about this. Alright, so here's the car. It's under the cover. I'll just pop the cover off it. Just a little bit. I'll just pop the cover off the bed. There's the gearbox cross mount. It was all covered in oil and grease, so I decided to paint it up. Looks quite nice actually. So that's got to go back on. That's original. Everything in this car is original. Absolutely original. So the car's 30 years old. So this is 30-year-old paint. Just trying to get you a bit more of an idea on it. So yes, it's 30-year-old paint. See the shine on it. I've kept it in the condition it was when I brought it. So as you can see, the paint absolutely got quite a shine in it. So this is Nissan's Classic White from the 1990 era. And of course, I've still got work to do inside the car. Sorry, it's got this car's got tinted anti-sun windows on it, and they're quite dark. I've still got to put the dash cluster back in. Now the dash cluster, this is a standard TI one. This is one that came with it. There's no cracks or anything in it. That's the original kilometres. So there's no cracks or anything in it. Now I took this out to refurbish that fella there, which is the oil pressure. It was playing up a little bit. It was flicking and carrying on, so it was playing up. So I was trying to find out why it was doing that. So I actually pulled the engine harness out of the car to see if there was a problem there, and there was a wire that had rubbed through inside the harness. So I went through and replaced the whole wire all the way through up to the cluster here. So that's the cluster plug there. So all the rest of the stuff, hazard lights and all that, that's all the switches in it. So this is a dark blue interior. It's crushed velour. So there you can see it there. It probably does need some work on it. It's sort of getting a little baggy, but once again, it is 30 years old. So the seat needs a bit of work done on it. That's the driver's seat. The passenger seat is a lot better condition than that, a lot better. And the back seat looks brand new. Absolutely brand new. I don't think there's been, sorry, the door's not going to stay open. I've got to stand here. So it's all crushed velour, so it needs a little bit of work, a little bit of cleaning work, which I'm going to get into. Sorry, the car's a bit dark with the cover on it. I've been cleaning the headlining on it. Nobody smoked in the car. I don't know what that discoloration is there, but it does come off very, very easy. Anyway, this is the dashboard. So it's dark blue with black highlights. The switches, these switches, all these switches, there's a whole bunch of them up there. They're all green backlit, which looks very, very nice at night time. I've replaced all those globes that are in there. They're all those tiny little globes. I've replaced them all. Everything is now LED, including all the dash lights. They're all LED now. Sorry, the sun's... sorry, that light's glinting off it, so let's put it there. Very 80s styling. So the car really does show its age. So this was all designed back in the mid-80s. So around 85, 86, these cars were actually designed. And they were released for 4 years here in Australia. They were only released here in Australia. So this is the only model of R31 that was released here. There were other ones that were imports. Ooh, it's falling off there. Something's falling off. So anyway, this is the Australian release. So Series 3 TI. So this is Series 3 TI. I've had all the front end off. I put a cooler in it, a big automatic transmission cooler in it. So there it is down there, mounted in down there, auto transcooler. And as I said, I've been trying to get all the rust out of it, so it's getting nice and clean now. I had no intention of pulling the engine out. The engine doesn't have any oil leaks whatsoever. I'm just cleaning it up, tidying up all the wiring and that. The cruise control module's back in. There was rust there behind that. I fixed that. I've still got to do the plenum channel, but I want to power the car up and get the wiper motor seated at rest, so I can put the wiper arms on. So that's got to be done, but I want to get this other little job out of the way at the moment. So as I said to you, the car's about 2.5 feet off the ground, so I can get in underneath it and replace that seal. So this is quite a long video. I'm sorry about that, but anyway, just showing you what I'm up to with my 1990, almost 30-year-old Skyline. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.